Amy, let me start with you. Tell me a little bit about Moria Camp in general, and I want to get Fatima's reactions to it as well, since she lived there. This was a space that, as I mentioned, 13,000 people had been living in, and it was terribly overcrowded, and it had been marked by international aid organizations for being a place that had absolutely horrendous living conditions, right?
That's exactly right. And the reason I brought Fatima on is because to be a woman, a single woman, or any woman living there was a nightmare. And in particular, I think the impact on women and children. Um, there were massive human rights violations in terms of the overcrowding, access to health care, psychological care. It was, they referred to it as a living hell. So it's not surprising that it burned. And it's been very interesting to note that nobody quite knows exactly who set the fires. The refugees are adamant that it was right-wing Greek fascists. And some Afghans say it was Syrians, some Syrians say it was Afghans, the Africans say it was the fascists. It's all a big muddle. However, the Greek police have arrested 4 Afghans and claimed that they are suspects. So we don't really know. But the entire camp burned to the ground, and it was quite a scene to witness, to walk through the devastation.
One might imagine from the outside that these 13,000 refugees, who many people in Greece, as you mentioned, the fascist movements have said they don't want them there, but the refugees are actually trapped there, right? And in fact, just as you were implying, Fatima had to struggle to leave, even though she actually had a place to stay outside of the camp. Why are refugees trapped in the refugee camps in Lesbos?
It's a good question. It's a question all the refugees are asking now that they're living on the streets, raw in the open. They scrambled to whatever they could find in the forest to build little shelters for the last 3-4 days. But all the ones that I spoke to and interviewed were asking, why is this new camp being built? And it's a closed camp. So not only will it be a kind of state-of-the-art facility, it's really a jail, an open-air jail, because it'll be far more patrolled. Those who've gone in so far, out of, say, the 13,000 on the street, they're kind of trickling in now, but we have, kind of just talked to somebody that said that they will all be in there in the next few days. They don't have a choice. But the question really is, why are we being held like prisoners when we have the human right to seek asylum? The processing is woefully